my opinion, and it's just my opinion now. It's just my opinion. It's like, all right. And I would say, look, go back to the broadcast. It was heavily involved, okay? I can't, if you just take a sound bite away from it, you're going to miss it. But I also had men asking the question. This is a question men and women are both starting to ask. Do y'all even like one another? Do black men and black women today, well, let's take it from the women's side. Do black women today walk through their daily lives and act as if they belong to black men? Do they go through their daily lives acting like they like black men? Are they going through their lives like they are proud to be our quote unquote better halves? And I think to answer the question is to answer it. One of my most provocative broadcasts was a group of women who were upset with the notion of even being asked to smile at black men. And we have to deal with reality. If you have a group of people who 60% are single. Black women, you're 62% single from anybody. Is it time to expand your options? Is it time for black men and black women to, because see, funny thing is, I said it a long time ago, the gender war is over. The gender war has been over. You're starting to see femininity influencers and this and that, and matchmakers and people throwing their hats, and I'm tired of dealing with women. I'm gonna start talking to men because they're nicer. That you're starting to see more and more women starting to try to coach and advise men, and I have my own personal opinions about it, but I think it's wrong-headed for one specific reason. One, it's more of the same. We already have a community where men grew up, 80% of us in the household of a woman. So trying to go listen to women tell men how to be men and get women ain't worked. But I'm going to move on from that. I think it's more of the same. I think, if anything, the women need to be coming over to listen to men. And the women who are going to teach something need to be listening to men as well. If anything, it will make more sense for the women to start working with the men who are already talking about it than going out there. But, you know, such is life. But is it all for what? Is it all for what? If I talk to the average black woman today, she's going to tell me that the relationship really isn't a priority right now. It's about getting her bag and getting her career together and all this other kind of stuff. So what kind of man has to come along to make the average boss chick or bad girl turn and say, I want to be in a relationship, married, have some kids, and build a family? And that's what we have to get to. Are the women in the dating pool appealing enough to the men to where they want to settle down with them? And are the men in the dating pool appealing enough to the women to where they want to settle down with those men? I think the numbers speak for themselves. 60% singles. So if either you try to fix people and make them be together, two groups of folks that, or do you open the market and let competition fix it? I am a free market capitalist kind of guy. Let me tell you what happened in telecommunications. Let me tell you as a long story. I'm making it short, but listen to me. Back in 1950, we had one phone company. It was called American Telephone and Telegraph. They had one phone company, and they handled local and your long distance service. You had no choice. This is back when your grandmama still had that rotary dial phone. Everybody had one phone company. It was a monopoly. And when there was a monopoly, competition is crushed, innovation is stymied, and consumers pay the price. Your grandma used to get mad for you leaving the door open because it's going to run up her light bill in long distance. But what happened? In 1984, telecommunications was deregulated. All of a sudden, AT&T was split up into AT&T was the long distance carrier. And then all of a sudden, you got all of these regional bell operating companies, Arbox, Pactel, Nortel, Southwestern Bell, Bell Atlantic. What was it in the Midwest? I'm drawing a blank in the Midwest, but it was seven. But what happened when all of a sudden people had a choice to choose a different local carrier, and AT&T had all the long distance. But then a company named MCI came in and said, you know what? Long distance is too high. It costs too much. AT&T had a stranglehold on folks. MCI came in and said, you know what? We can do better. And MCI went to war with AT&T. And the long and short of it is it started the telecommunication wars. AT&T now had a competitor. They had MCI and they had Sprint. The local regional bell operating companies were competing. And then you had all this competition going on. Well, guess what happened? Inside of 1996 Telecommunications Act deregulated the local market. So you had a choice in long distance carrier since the 80s and a choice in local carrier since the 90s. What did you have to deal with? Those annoying phone calls. You want to save 10 cents a minute, blah, blah, all those annoying calls. But you know what you got? We went from rotary dial phones and to rotary dial phones and pagers. Then pagers went to sky pagers and voicemail pagers. And from that, it went to mobile phones. And inside of 10 years, we went from people you shouldn't have to be rich to have a mobile phone to everybody having a mobile phone, but you still had to pay for local long distance and internet and text messages. When was the last time you paid for a text message? When was the last time you paid for internet connection? When was the last time you paid for a long distance? Long distance. And all of this happened because of competition. But guess what? We have 2 phone companies now. The entire industry went from all that competition, 7 local bell companies, all these long distance companies, all these small long distance companies. This one bought that one, this one did this one, this spun off, this made this technology, and it all came back to you have AT&T. Now AT&T has basically everything, and Bell Atlantic is now Verizon. You have basically 2 regional bell operating companies and basically 1 long distance company, but it's cheaper. Now, this phone my phone today is cheaper than it was 30, 20 years ago. It was not uncommon at the beginning of 2000 for people to be opening $1,000 phone bills. $1,000 just because you were talking long distance for somebody you seeing. Now you got a flat rate, unlimited talk, text, internet, worldwide, and you get speeds that would have 20 years ago to get 45 megabit speeds, T3 speeds would have cost you $20,000 just for the fiber optic connection. That's what competition does to a marketplace. It breaks up a monopoly and it forces innovation, and the people who can compete can become successful. That is industry I grew up in, and my career did this. I went in and got in exponentially, and I was able to move up and see a lot of stuff versus going this path. And that's what I think we need in our community. We got a monopoly on one another. Black women feel like they got a monopoly on black men. Black women have always been the divest, move out, such and so forth. So I'm going to ask the question: if you don't like each other, you don't want to deal with each other, maybe it's time to open up the market to competition. But then you're going to have to compete. I think it's funny. I found out today that one of the biggest divestors out there is now back with a black man. Who knew? Who knew? The people who don't want competition are people who don't want to see the best outcome. If I was asking about women expanding their options, they have long talked about black women, expand your options, expand your options. Well, I'm asking you, black women, is it time for black men to expand their options? laissez-faire, hands off. That's right. Is it time? And if the market did open, guess what? Just like there were people who went out and sought new territories to compete. Think about the people who had to compete against AT&T and these large regional bell companies. You had small companies started by two guys who just had an idea and balls, and they went out and made millions of dollars. You know what happens? The people who want to compete become successful. The people who don't want to compete die. And that's what needs to happen. Black women, if you really plan on competing for your men, you should have no problem, because you'll get a better caliber of man in a better market, in a better relationship situation that'll last longer, because competition ensures that. But if you don't want to compete, if you want to keep black men based upon monopoly, your mama black, you a sellout, you this, you that, and I'm gonna be honest, what have men got today? What have men got today for this monopoly? Men, what have you gotten today for the monopoly? What have you gotten today for the monopoly?
I'm a PhD. I don't need a cookbook.
That's what men have gotten today from the monopoly. The monopoly doesn't help anyone. So if the monopoly doesn't help anyone, what do we do, ladies? What are you going to tell your son to do? Continue to deal with a monopolistic person who thinks smiling at your son is an intrusion? Who thinks that they need $5 million and an empire before they can decide to even think about dealing with somebody, and he can't be an average man? Competition. Here's a question. Can you compete? Can you compete, ladies? Can you compete? Because from now on, here's what I'm going to start doing. These platforms are going to become about competition. Now, I'm going to make my stance known. I hope black women can compete. I hope black women rise to the challenge and become the best versions of themselves to get with the best versions of brothers. That's what I hope. But I am a male advocate, and it is my stance, my position to always look out for the men. I make no bones about it. I'm looking out for the men, and it is better for the men that the market opens up. So going forward, this is an open platform. I will still talk about black issues and black this and black that. I always have. But this is an open platform because that's the way y'all want it. I mean, granted, the word swirling didn't come up from black men. You don't have what was that movie? Not Still I Got a Groove Back. That's the old woman with the young man. What was that? Something different, right? So guess what? Black men, stop feeling guilty about competition. Competition is good. Competition is healthy. Don't let women shame you because you want a woman to be competitive. So you can't be sitting around cheering for Serena Williams and Meghan Markle and everybody else and then shame a black man because he wants a wife and a family. And if 62% of black women are single, and if you just take the anecdotal results we got the other night, I said, ladies, what percentage of women today do you hear talking about wanting to be an entrepreneur, boss, get their bag, get their career, something along these lines in their 20s and 30s? And the lowest number I heard in the stream of 20,000 people was 60%. Most people said they hear 80% of black women either anecdotally or on just in their purview day to day. They hear this all the time. If 60%, all you need is 10%. But if 40% of women are talking this way, that means we don't have enough women to marry. You don't have enough women to build families with. More than 10% is beyond critical mass for a tipping point. So if you want a black community, black men must be able to have black wives, not just black babies. You getting with a man, having a baby, and being a single mother is not a community. And that has been the solution. I hear too many women saying, well, I just should have got a baby. Nope, 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 nope. No. It is about competition. Competition is what moves the market. Competition is what betters the world. And that's what we need in this community. We need competition. So to all the non-black women, you are welcome to call into my show now. You are all welcome to call in to Instagram or YouTube. You're all welcome in. You're welcome to call in. You're welcome to watch. I have my personal preference. I have my personal wish, and I can still run the platform as I wish. But if you think that I have millions of people watching and they're just all black, but I think it is time for our markets to have competition. And I see far too many women gladly doing this kind of stuff. Come on, competition. And anybody who doesn't want competition, black women, if you don't want competition, what you want is monopoly. And monopolies are inherently bad for the human race. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let's get it. I got my preference. But if you're not ready to compete, what am I supposed to tell T'Challa? Wakanda forever with who? If T'Challa can't get a prince. Think about it. The Prince of Wakanda, the King of Wakanda, couldn't get that chick. Think about it. Black Panther, the most successful solo Marvel movie of all time. You look at Pepper Potts and Tony Stark, and Pepper Potts was sitting around taking out Tony Stark's trash. Pepper Potts was there serving, helping. I want you to compare and contrast Pepper Potts and Tony Stark with Prince T'Challa and that girl. What did Prince T'Challa get? The king of Wakanda, the most technologically advanced nation on the planet, intelligent, powerful black man, couldn't even get the girl he wanted to want to marry him and be queen. Tony Stark got Pepper Potts gladly dealing with his rotation, picking up his cleaning and taking out the trash. She was so down for Tony Stark, she even got in the suit and fought the Mandarin. God damn it, black men need their Pepper Potts. If she's from Wakanda, just fine. But I'm tired of seeing black men having to cower and beg black women, please be with us. Don't you want to marry us? You can be independent. We can be co-kings. Think all the bullshit that he had to deal with. I don't want to be queen. I want my job. I want a business. I have a PhD. I need to go fight Thanos myself. I just don't know. I don't want to live in the lap of luxury and all this money and resources. I got to go to school and write a blog and get out here and inspire other women to live their best self and black girl magic. Shut the French toast up. Shut up. Team Killmonger. Wish Killmonger would have lived. Because Killmonger would have said, you know what Killmonger would have said? He'd have told her. You think his little sister would have been talking? You think his little sister would have been talking? No. Put a muzzle on her. They'd have did him like Wade Wilson on Deadpool. Killmonger would have got Shuri or whatever. He'd have zipped their lips together. Go in there and make me some shit. Go on and make me some devices. You go in there and hang out with Jarvis, but don't come talk to me. Don't come talk to me. What? No. You understand? You understand?
You know I have a show to run here, you know?
You know I got a country to run, right? You know I got a country to run, and I'm Black Panther. This shit must pop. I make jokes like this because black men, look at the programming we got. We got Black freaking Panther begging a chick to be his lady. Excuse me? Black Panther got a bed. I don't think so. All right, let's get it. You're welcome. Let the Hunger Games begin. Somebody's going to need to teach the white girls how to cook.
I don't need a cookbook.
But they're going to need to learn how to make some macaroni and cheese. White women, Asian women, Middle Eastern women, Hispanic women. It's called macaroni and cheese. It's called fried chicken. They're called collard greens. Like collarbone, it's called collard greens. Okay? Fried chicken, cornbread, sweet tea, sweet potatoes, and collard greens. You were on here before.
I know. What?
What's going on?
Nothing.
You were on here before. You got a boyfriend. Don't you have a boyfriend?
No.
Okay, what do you got for me?
Okay. I stopped sharing my location after our conversation.
What is my topic tonight?
I just tuned in, but I know how to make. I have a cookbook, and
are you single or married? Are you single or are you married?
Very, very single.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, well, what's up? What's the question?
The question tonight. Well, why are you here? What makes you? Why you watch my content?
Because you are so. You enlighten me. I mean, you have like a men's perspective opposed to a woman's, which is great. And I do agree that women are not as submissive as they should be, being that my mom, well, I'm Latina, my mom's Latina, and she's married to a white man, and he's like a white Harley driving white man.
Okay.
White, so, and then all of his friends are just like, you know.
What do you want? What kind of men are you looking for?
I'm looking for a masculine man, a man that kind of like my stepdad, a man that provides, a man that is supportive, a man that values a woman to be in her womanness. You know?
How old are you?
34.
How tall are you?
5'2".
Dress size?
4, 3, extra small.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
130.
You're probably about dress size 6. But anywho, no kids. Why should a man pick you to be his one and only?
Because I come from a traditional family. I am a career-oriented woman, and I know how to be a wife or a woman or submit to a man.
Well, you're a career-oriented woman? Okay. What, did you go to college?
Yes.
What's your degree in?
Associates.
In what?
Just your regular AA associates, whatever.
Do you want, how many children would you like to have?
I have a daughter. She's 10. I would like to
There we go. I thought it was something. There it is.
You
there
said
it is. Go ahead. You got a 10-year-old daughter, and you like to have what?
I'd say maybe 2, max 3.
Where's her dad?
Her dad's in the picture. We share custody. He takes her every Tuesday and every other weekend. So it's a very amicable relationship.
Why didn't you guys get married? Because these are all questions men are going to ask.
Yeah, because he was very toxic. He was not.
So you opened your womb to a toxic man and gave him the greatest gift a woman could give a man.
It was a high school relationship.
No, you were 24.
I was 23.
Okay. Don't split hairs with me like that.
Okay.
Check that shit. Don't get mad at me because I can do math. Men are going to ask, because you gave the sales pitch, I'm a career woman and I come from this family. Cool. No, it's bullshit. Because now we're getting to the nitty gritty, because you wouldn't push back like that if you were what you said you were.
No, fast forward. Yeah. So
No fast forward. You wouldn't push back the way you did if you were what you're saying you are.
No, I am what I say I am. And
So you're still pushing back. That's very masculine.
Okay.
See, what's high women, one of the most obvious traits about a truly feminine woman is agreeableness. And so you're going to tell me he was toxic. I don't know. I'm just asking. Any man worth his salt is going to ask you, why should I be a stepfather to your daughter and open myself up to the Me Too environment and all the things that come along with bringing a child into my life, much less a female child who's not going to be an asset to me? He's going to ask you about the ex. He's going to ask you why you didn't get married, and you got to have something better than he was toxic.
Yeah, no, I was engaged to him, and I broke off the engagement because of the factor of, like, you know, there was violence, there was
Was the police call?
Yes.
Was this before or after you were pregnant?
A little bit before, and then after I got pregnant, I was like, I have a daughter. I cannot have her in this.
Okay, so here's something. I'll tell the same story. You ladies make a decision to make a baby before marriage. You are basically signing up to be single for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because until the child is out of the house, because you're asking a man to be a stepfather. And what you have to understand is you got to bring something to the market that's better than a woman with no children. What do you bring to the market to a man that he can't get with a woman with no kids?
A woman does not know how to be a mother. A woman with no kids does
not know how to be a mother?
Does not know how, like, the family dynamic of how to be a mother and the nurturing and, like, what plays a part of, like, being an actual parent. That's, oh my God.
A woman with no kids does not know how to be a single mother.
A woman with no kids.
A woman with no kids does not know how to be a single mother. You've not been a wife. You've been a single mother.
I have been a wife because I was.
No, you weren't. You haven't been a wife. You've been a baby mama and engaged.
But he was my high school sweetheart.
I don't care, man. You can't see, gentlemen. This because you ladies don't tell the truth, and you think because listen, man. You said you can't make yourself a wife just because you're in a relationship. That's not how that shit works.
These are all the steps that you do, though. Like, everything that you do.
And I want you guys to understand. This is what I asked. This woman said she's a feminine woman. And listen to the argument. You're making up reality, man. The reality, here's how the story should go. I had a child with a guy. It wasn't the best decision. I take complete ownership for it. I made a mistake. I know it's going to be a burden and a strike against me. But in order to make up for that, I've done this kind of work. And this is what I bring to the table, or a man, to actually make myself an asset along with my child. That's not what we're getting here. What we're getting here is, well, I'm a mother because I know how to be a mom. Men are looking for somebody to be a mother to their children, not somebody else's.
And vice versa. I am looking for a man to play that role, to be a father to
But we don't want to be fathers to your kids. We want to be fathers to our own children.
What about what if you
understand something. You don't have any leverage in this thing as a single mother. See, it's all about what you want. Somebody has told you because you got a dimple, because you got dimples, you can get over on this shit.
Evan.
But if it don't you Kevin me, if this shit worked, this is not a two-way any goddamn thing. This is a one-way thing, my way or the highway. That's how this works. And see, if that doesn't work, and what I want you to understand, folks, is when you trigger a woman, you get the truth. And there's the truth right there. That's the truth. The sass, the resistance.
No resistance.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a resistance, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. But bottom line, man, this went off the rails because instead of just saying, all right, I have a child, it's not necessarily the best situation, but here's what I bring to the table. Men don't value a career in a woman.
Okay, well,
men don't value a woman who's a woman who's a mother to another man's children.
Are you serious?
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go on Tinder, and I want you to make a profile and say, no, I want you to go, no. See, you're talking. You're talking. Yeah, Bumble is for feminists, but I'm a feminist. I want you to go on Tinder and say, I'm looking for someone to help me raise my child.
No, actually,
No. Because I said men are not looking for a mother. They're looking for somebody to mother their children. You seem like you're surprised that men don't want to be stepfathers. Is that surprising?
It's not that it's surprising. It's just, it's a little like, okay, just like men don't want to be stepfathers. However, men are looking for women to be stepmothers to their children. And
no, most men don't have children. No, ma'am, listen. Most men don't have children.
Most men?
Most men. No, okay, listen. Especially in the black community, 54% of black men, listen.
You have children?
Again, I'm going to either do it this way or I'm going to hang up on you and I'll go on. Because I don't know the fuck you think you are. I'm telling you that most men don't have kids.
Okay.
54% of black men are single and childless. Most men don't have kids. So if you're a single man, why would a single man want to come put up with somebody who's being as competitive, as combative as you are?
I'm not combative.
Yes, and if you don't think this is combative, you don't know what men think.
You really
just because you're doing it with a smile.
No, but honestly, like I feel like I comprehend and I listen and I am willing to take criticism and
go back and listen to this, look in the comment section. Man, every time first of all, you don't have to curse. You don't have to get loud to be combative. It's disagreeable. You disagree with reality. Do you think, what percentage of men do you think want to be stepfathers? What percentage of single men with no children do you think want to sign up to be stepfathers?
I would say close to none.
None. Close to none. Yeah. So when I said men don't want to be stepfathers, you asked me, are you serious?
Well, I mean, my daughter does have a father. However, I do want to like give her that dynamic of a family-oriented household where she can have, a male figure.
And in order to do that, a man has to agree to it.
Right.
And see, unfortunately, what you want is in the best interest of you and your daughter. It's not in his best interest. Your daughter is a liability to another man, not an asset.
True.
This is why you should marry the man you have children with and stay with them for a lifetime. Because when you're out here in the marketplace with another man's child, you're just a fun girl. That's how most men look at you, ladies.
I mean, I really wish I would. I invested a lot of my life into that, and I really wish it would have worked out that way. But
well, but see, the issue is, if you didn't have the child, it wouldn't be such an issue. But it's the child. Kevin fucking Samuels?
No.
Yeah. I heard what you said.
He's he's so raw.
Is that your friend?
No, he's nice. He's very.
No,
Yes.
And then I told her how it is. Okay. You don't listen. That's the whole thing.
Well, thank you. Your friends.
She's worse. She's bad. She's real bad.
Well, there you go.
Right.
Man, I'm trying to, whether you agree or not, whether you like it or not, I'm just telling you that you have to look at it from the men's side. I get what you want, but it's a market. And it's like you're going to the car lot and you've got money to buy what you want. And they say, this is the only thing we got to sell. And they're telling you how great it is. And you're like, no, I got choices. And if you don't understand that men choose who gets married, and understand that in order to get what you want, you're going to have to give a man what he wants.
feel like I do for the most part.
Okay. Are you in a relationship right now?
Am I in a relationship? What?
Are
No.
you in a relationship? When was your last relationship?
My last relationship was about. I wouldn't even call that a relationship. Maybe the last relationship that I was in was with my daughter's dad.
And when did you guys break up?
We broke up 2018.
Mm-hmm. So he was your only relationship, really.
Seriously and committed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, in other words, you have a child for a man that you didn't marry. He's imprinted on you because he's been the man you've been with most of your adult life. So another man's coming along, ma'am, you're not really a fit for anybody but him.
He's having another child with another.
I don't care, ma'am. I'm sorry. That's the way it is.
Okay, but it's like,
That's the way it is. Okay, so this is what I mean. And see, the thing is, I understand it's hard for women like you to hear these kind of things because the world has told you, ladies, that you have opportunities. Man, you were with a man you didn't marry, and you said, well, it was toxic or this or that, and it sounds like you still really would like to be with him.
no, absolutely not.
Well, bottom line is, if he's having another kid, if he's not going to be a possibility, then you got options. Either you make yourself an asset for a man, and understand what men want, or you realize you're 34 with a 10-year-old daughter, and you wait till your daughter's out of your house, on to college, and you'll be in your mid-40s, then that means you'll be likely just dating. But you've effectively screwed yourself.
Okay, so what are your like top 3-tier advices for a woman like me to kind of level up?
Level up to what?
Level up to potentially have a long-lasting relationship with a man and
First, I would recommend therapy.
Okay, besides therapy.
Not besides therapy. I would recommend serious therapy, ongoing, because there are issues here that you were involved in with somebody that you say has these issues going on, and you have not chosen to do anything else. That's number one. Number two, how many children does he have?
He has our daughter, and then he has a child on the way that's due in November, and the new wife has a child that's 10 years old. So that's a whole nother ball game.
Okay. Well, here. Okay.
No.
No. I gotta get on to the next thing. See, you're not gonna like this next thing, but he has a family. Let your daughter go live with her dad. Let your daughter go live with her dad, because he has a wife and a family. You're a single mother.
No.
All right. So, see, nope, enough. Nope. Bye-bye. You guys got to understand something, that women have been told that they get unlimited lives, that nothing they do is wrong, and they can always blame the man. They can always blame the man, and that they can find somebody out here who will fix it. They don't fix it themselves. They just want you to fix it. No, gentlemen, don't accept that. All right. So don't call back. Don't call back. No.
Oh
Hello.
God. Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. All right. So you got a question for me, or you're calling on topic?
That's a lot. I actually have a date tomorrow, so this is important. I even said it as this lady was going off. I was like, I have a date tomorrow. I really want to ask him a question.
Go ahead. Do you have any children?
No, I have no children. 29.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
My situation is a little bit different because I'm African American. I might not look it due to lighter skin, but I have an issue with the way people are turned off when I say I'm Black. I'm Black. And it's like, no, don't say that. And it's because of the, I guess, content that women are known for, and obviously some of the characteristics. And I'm proud of it, but I know that there are things I need to work through. I
Let me,
am
let,
interested
let,
in.
hold on. You're turned off by people when you say you're black?
I'm turned off at the way that they don't accept that I'm black. They would prefer that I'm mixed. I think
Who
they
are we?
would,
What person are you talking about?
just in dating. You're Spanish. Are you black and white?
Where are you meeting these people?
They can just be in
So
public.
you're turned off by a man. It's
I'm
not by people. It's by.
I
Because how
guess
often
it's
does
the
this happen?
content. It's the content. It's the
No,
content of the
How
okay.
often does this happen?
Almost all the time.
So when you meet a man, is he a black man?
It could be black. He could be Spanish.
So when it comes up your race, they're like, "No, you're not black. You're something else."
Yeah.
And you think that people are saying, "I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand why it's
Okay.
an issue."
Well, okay. Again, I will go back to what I wanted to say. I was adopted, so I was raised by white people. I saw a different type of lifestyle. I know you talk about homes where black people
Make it
aren't
simple.
married.
Make it simple. You got to make it simple. What's the issue?
Okay, well, the issue here is I'm interested in sticking with a black man. I'm going on a date with a black man. I don't have any kids myself. He doesn't have any kids.
Okay.
And I'm interested in pursuing that. I
Okay.
am let down, though, through some of the experiences that I've had with black men. And I
It ain't
don't
got nothing to do with him.
Good.
It has nothing to do with him.
Okay. I'm interested in still pursuing a black man and, of course, having a family.
Okay. But if you come into new situation judging people based upon stuff they didn't do, what makes you any different?
That's true. I mean, I don't want to judge.
The very thing you're saying people do, people have made judgments based upon other stuff. Self-sabotaging. How'd you meet this person?
I met this person online.
All right. And you've never gone out with them.
No, this will be our first date.
So I gotta ask,
Okay.
why are you putting so much pressure or importance on a first date with somebody you've never met?
Well, no, I guess I'm saying I'm worried. I'm interested in getting married. Like, I don't have any kids. Also, I guess the number one thing is I don't
But
want.
you can't put this much pressure on a first date.
Okay.
You don't know this man.
I know.
I think okay. Fear, scarcity, and loss and lack. You're going into a first date and he thinks he's meeting somebody. You got all this stuff going on. So he could say something, and because you're on extra brittle, you interpret it the wrong way.
Okay.
Why? Has your dating experience been negative?
I would say negative just because they didn't work out, but not negative in the full sense that they weren't something I didn't learn from.
What do you mean they didn't work out?
Meaning that I didn't get to stay with the people I invested the time in.
How much time are we talking about?
First relationship was one that came out of high school, but was for years, so probably close to almost 8 years.
Okay, so you're 29, you were in an 8-year relationship.
I was probably only like 15, 16 when I started dating this person.
But you were 29 and you were in an 8-year relationship. You were until, what's going on with the volume?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I'm getting all kind of red flags.
Okay.
Like, it's just too much pressure. I mean, you were in an 8-year relationship out of high school. Okay, but it was over at how, 23, 24?
Yeah.
All right. And what's the longest, have you had a relationship since then?
Yes, I have. I've had 2 since then.
How long?
The first one, the one after that was probably only about a good 2 years. And then the following.
Why didn't y'all get married?
That was a little more stressful just because my mom had passed away. And
2 years.
Yes.
And then how long was your next relationship?
3 years.
Okay, so now I get it. You don't know how to date.
Okay.
You're a detacher. You attach. And that now it makes sense. You're already
Attach
trying to
or
make
detach? Did you say attach or
you
detach?
attach. You're already trying to make this person you've ever gone out with be the one. Have you ever had any therapy?
No, I'm interested.
Yeah, you should do that before you go on a date.
Okay.
Because it's not normal to attach that heavily to somebody. You had an 8 year, a 2 year, and a 3 year. So by my math, that's 13 years.
Okay.
And you're meeting somebody online, which is fine, but
Yeah.
meeting somebody online should just be getting to know that person. I think you meet the baseline qualifications. I want to see if you're attractive enough, if there's any chemistry.
Okay.
But you're going into this with all this stuff bubbling in your head.
Well, I definitely don't want to.
You've been in relationships for 16 years. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, the whole purpose for me, anytime that I do date, is that I want a family. Like I don't.
I get it, but okay, I get what you say you want.
Okay.
But then you go back to your relationships. You've had 2 relationships, one of 2 years, one of 3 years, and you didn't marry either one of those men. Why not?
We took our time. We got to.
There's no taking your time. You aren't dating with intention. See, this bullshit of taking our time, you wasted time.
Well,
How long does it take to know whether or not you should marry somebody?
Well, that's the thing. I can feel sure about somebody.
How long does it take? How long in general do you think it should take?
For me to decide? I'm saying I think I could probably decide maybe in a couple months, maybe close to like 6 to 8 months, maybe.
So why are you in 2 and 3 year situations?
Well, like I was gonna say, we would date, then eventually we would move in.
There's no moving in. We don't shack.
Well, that's that. I guess that was the way my life was going. I wasn't able to live with family the entire time. When my mom passed, I had to find my own place to stay.
This sounds, ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna stop this right here.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm hearing unhealthy attachments and codependence.
Okay.
Look, dating should be fun. Shouldn't look like you're looking right now. Like, oh my God, and if you're with somebody for 2 years, if the man doesn't want to marry you, and you don't want to marry him, you end it. But you can't do that if you're living with somebody and depending upon their income.
Okay. I understand what you say by depending on the income, but the way that situation went, I wasn't depending on theirs. I actually had the.
It doesn't really matter, ma'am. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is,
how do I change this? I guess that's really what I want to know.
Because I'm not a clinician.
Okay.
But I'm listening to a woman who had a long relationship. You're attaching to people who aren't attaching to you, I guess. I don't know how to tell you to change it, but you need to understand what's going on. That's not what this is for. This is a dating. You need to sit down with a clinician.
Okay.
Because it's not normal to 8 year, 2 year, 3 year, and you moved in with both people. And now you're on the dating scene. I don't think you need to be dating. Because the way you came in here talking about it, you're gonna make him the next person you live with.
Again, I think.
I guess why you say you want to be married and all this other stuff. I don't care.
Okay.
You're not healthy enough up here to be doing all this.
How
getting
so?
Getting married does what? It does not change who we are.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Man,
what?
I'm trying not to go too deep into this because it changes the energy of the show. You should book a session if you want something else. But man, all I hear about is what you want. Getting married doesn't change who you are.
Okay.
Making babies with somebody doesn't change who you are. It only makes it more serious.
Oh, I know.
So you need to know who you are and get whatever's going on in your head at least understood before you get out here in the market and confuse it with somebody else and children.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I think a lot of women just believe that I'll get married, it's gonna fix something. No. Hold on. Lord, Jesus. But it's funny though. Let's lighten this up. It's funny. It's like we either go from women who just want to get married. It's like, but what are you getting married for? I have yet to see. I would love to see women who are truly happy and bringing something to the table. The first two I talked to want to get married. I would be terrified for a guy to get married to one of them because all it's gonna be is the first chick. She's gonna be using you to be a stepdad. Men are not emotional tampons, ladies. Men are not emotional tampons. Men are not emotional tampons. I just want a relationship. Winter's coming. You said winter's coming and it's getting cold outside. I just want to get married. Yeah, okay. But after you're married, then what? Well, shit, I'll figure it out after that. Let's open it up to have multiple people. We're going to start doing more. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How old are you?
I'm 33.
33. It's a little dark in
Probably where I'm at.
there. Okay.
Can you see me?
So a little bit better. What do you got for?
Okay. So I've been a serial dater. Like
Okay.
I've never really been like a relationship.
What kind of
person.
cereal? Grapefruit? Great. Lighten it up.
So in 2015, I got with my ex-boyfriend. We was together for 8 years. Yeah.
From 2015?
Yeah.
That math doesn't work.
We broke up this year in February.
Okay, if you
So
got
like,
one,
like 7.5, 8 years. I met him in 2014.
Okay, until 14 to 21 is still 7 years. So
Yeah,
okay,
well,
go ahead.
7.5, 8 years. I mean, I rounded off.
Okay. All right, still okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so we broke up because he cheated. Not once, not twice. Like it was a multiple thing that happened, and I feel like I was kind of dumb because I stayed in this situation.
You have any children?
I do not. He had children. He had.
And what year did he cheat in?
So I'm originally from New York. We moved to Charlotte. So the first year that we moved to Charlotte, he cheated. I got pregnant and had a miscarriage, and then he cheated after that.
So the first year you hold on. So the first year you were with a man, you left New York. Hold the phone steady.
Okay.
You left New York City and moved to North Carolina.
Yes.
With a man that is not your husband.
Yes.
Why?
Honestly, just the way that I felt about him, I just never.
Okay,
felt
but how
about
about you didn't? But how come you didn't codify that feeling at the courthouse?
I don't know. Like it was like my first serious relationship. So.
Oh, yeah. And you're how old again? Are you?
33.
So you were every bit of 25. So you're not a child.
No, I'm not.
So you left New York and moved to North Carolina with the man you knew for how long?
A year and a half.
So y'all have been together a year and a half.
Well, we weren't like together a year and a half. We were still dating. Like, so he, was still doing his thing. I was still doing my thing. And,
how long were you guys officially a couple?
Like 8 months.
But you had known him for a year and a half. Why didn't you get married? Because marriage wasn't a priority and it's not that big of a deal.
No, because it is a priority. I think
No,
I
it's
kind
not.
of was just waiting out. Like, okay, maybe he will. Maybe if I just
Not really
wait
a
it
priority.
out.
No, it's not a priority because if it was a priority, you wouldn't have moved. So you moved.
Yeah.
Who was he working?
We both were.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell this to the audience, ladies. You need to stop moving in with people who aren't going to put a ring on your finger.
I mean, it's
Stop
okay.
shacking with people. No, I'm talking past you because we're gonna get
Mhm.
through this, but because here's the net of it, man. I don't know what you ladies expect us to do because that's not a serial dater. You've been with somebody for 7 years and all this trauma. You've moved, he's cheated, this, that. Have you sat down with the therapist?
I have not.
Okay. And you expect to do what? Start dating again?
I mean, I am dating right now, but I don't put like my all into it
Because you
of
need therapy.
okay.
Because of my trauma.
Mhm.
And that's not fair. Turn off the TV. Ladies, stop making men in your present pay for your past traumas. We are not emotional tampons. We're not to be played with. We're not toys. We're human beings with feelings, and we deserve better. Did you like someone playing with you?
No,
Did
but
you
I
like
wasn't.
someone? Did you like somebody not giving their all?
Hell no.
Then why? And is the man you're seeing a black man?
Yes, he was. I'm single now. I'm not
The
seeing
man you're
anyone
dating
now.
right now? Are you dating right now? You said that you're
Yeah,
dating, but
I
you
was
don't give your
dating.
all. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're not. No, you're playing. See, now I just made you the villain.
But I'm
No.
not.
But yes, you are.
I mean, I don't go on these dates with the
But
intention
I
of
don't care what your
marrying.
intention is, ma'am. You have no emotional availability in trauma. If a man were to do that to a woman, it's not like you say this on your Tinder profile. Hey, let's go out. I have a shitload of trauma and I'm emotionally unavailable and I don't give my all. Nobody would ask you out. You just
Right.
keep that to yourself. So you hide that because you know it will be looked negatively upon. So a man takes you out, and is he getting an opportunity with somebody? Because do you expect men to pay for the dates?
For the most part, yes.
Okay, so you expect the man to pay for you like you actually have emotional availability and a vacancy, and you're not. No, be quiet and listen to what I just said.
Mhm.
You expect the man to pay for you like your head is clean when it's dirty.
It's not like because
Yes.
I'm not
Now, no,
closed
no,
off.
I don't care. See, they won't it when it's a man that's on the doing something wrong. Women are quick to call out, but you don't call your man. It doesn't
I
make you
know
better.
my fault flaws.
But the point, okay. But are you telling the men you're going out on a dinner date with that guess what? I'm not giving my all. I got my guard up. I got a shit ton of trauma that I've never healed from.
Not in those exact words, no.
And would they want? And do you think they would want to go out with you?
If I said it like that, no.
Well, then no matter how you say it, it's the truth. Dating is not a game. If you had gone through therapy and you had a clean mental bill of health and you were ready to go looking for a husband and to family and looking for a future, you're ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a man came along with trauma and issues and not giving his all. Would you think it'd be fair to take your time up?
No, but that happened already.
I don't give a shit. I'm talking about you. See, look at what she
Absolutely
just did.
not.
Look at
No.
what she just did. It's not okay when it happens to me, but it's all right if I do it to them. Because somebody did it to me, I'm going to do it to them.
But I don't go on these dates and be like, hey, I want to be your wife and I want to be your girlfriend. And I go on these dates and I'm like, I just want to get to know
Accountability is
you.
like kryptonite, people. Again, it's
I
wrong.
take my kryptonite.
Again, when someone does it to you, it's wrong. But when you do it, I don't intend to be bad. Because look, man, you don't need to be dating anybody until you clear your head. There's no matter how.
Like I don't know, I don't know if I want to get back serious with them, like be back in a serious relationship now.
You don't need to be dealing with anybody who's looking for anything other than a good time. and then you need to pay half your way. What the fuck is so funny? You just said I'm in here not giving my all. Then you need to tell people I'm not giving my all. I'm just out here to have a good time. Then you pay half the bills and have a good time. Stop.
Not pay half the
Stop. Stop. See, this is what I need you guys to understand. This is how selfish so many women are today. You don't think about the human being that's opposite of you. It's about you.
Okay.
Is that hard to hear?
It's not. I've heard it before.
From
Like
who?
not from a man. I've heard it from like my girlfriend. So I guess it
And what?
seems
And
a little
your
more
girlfriends told you, and your girlfriends told you this. Why do you have that thing in your nose anyway?
because I like it.
Please take that shit out. It looks horrible.
I can flip it up.
No. I mean, y'all should not wear that stuff. It looks bad.
I like
I don't know.
it.
I guess
I've
you
never
like
got
it.
a complaint from it
Well,
until
because
today.
gentlemen, I want every gentleman in the comment section that if you like women with deep pierced septums and nose rings, I want you to put 5,000 in your comment. And I want you to go down and look and see how many men write 5,000.
Okay.
We don't like those, man. In
Okay.
general, I'm just saying. You may be a nice person,
Mm-hmm.
but your girlfriend's telling you that you're doing something that's right or wrong.
No, they tell me that it's wrong, but I don't think it held as much weight as it holds coming from a man. If that kind of makes sense, because it's like, oh, girl, whatever. You were just saying that, but hearing it from a man, it's kind of like,
okay. Why would your girlfriend have any reason to say something that's going to hurt you?
No, I don't think it's to hurt me. It's just, it's our batter. Like, that's my homegirl. So I'm just like, girl, whatever. Like, I'm not paying you no mind. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You in the same boat I'm in, basically. So
Yeah.
it's like
So
the blind leading the blind.
No. Your homegirl tried to tell you what you're doing is not right,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't care about the men that you were doing this to.
Because she's 22, so it's kind of like, girl, that's the kettle calling the pot black. Like, you can't. So it didn't hold too much weight to me. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, I hear you. You doing it too.
So because she's a crackhead and you're a heroin addict, but both of y'all are stealing from men to feed your addictions.
I mean, don't say it like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it just like that because just because she was wrong, she told you were doing something, and so now it takes somebody to come along and say, that's not right. Man, you're dealing with other human beings. This is what I mean. Hurt people hurt people.
I definitely agree with that. I do.
So you are in that same position of hurting people. When you go out in the world,
mm-hmm.
dating somebody in a position to where you're not being upfront and honest, you're closed off and guarded, not giving your all. You are hurting people. I'm gonna do an entire video on this because y'all think this is a game. Because I'm just gonna hold it back. See, if men were to do that, they would say he's being manipulative or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't realize that you would not tell a man, look, man, I'm not trying to get serious with anybody. I got a lot of things that I've gone through. I just got out of a relationship. If you want to kick it, cool, nothing serious, no problem. But I'm not in a position to do it. You wouldn't say that because these men want something.
I do let them know.
All right, I've been around, man. Again, either you keep doing this, now you're gonna just have to own it. You got trauma.
I don't want to do this. I do.
Okay, that's cool. Then therapy. Because whatever's going on, you don't get to hurt people because somebody did it to you.
Right.
You don't get to do that. You don't get to do, and you don't get to blow your friend out because she's doing it too. It makes sense that y'all are friends. You can't be with a healthy friend.
Sad.
No, what's sad is that there are men out here having to deal with this. That's what I find sad. I'm a men's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And every time a man is going out with you, he's taking money that he could have spent on somebody else who has actual availability. It could be a good partner.
But I mean, it can grow to that.
No, it can't grow to nothing. You cannot grow a healthy anything in radioactive sludge.
I'm radioactive sludge?
Your mindset is. Would you take fruit or vegetable grown in a contaminated field?
No.
Then what can grow in your contaminated field?
I'm trying to like
See,
get past
accountability.
it, though.
You can't get past it while you're playing with somebody else. You get past it in a therapist's office on a couch, not with a man paying his dollars, taking his time. Why do you ladies think it's okay to get over your shit with one man on a test dummy that's another man? That's somebody's child, somebody's son. Somebody loves him.
Right?
Right?
No, I'm agreeing to what you're saying, but I'm trying to get past it.
So you know what? How about this when men are just trying to get past it, so they just go out and have sex with a bunch of different random women, pumping up just to get past their ex? Do the women who get pumped and dumped and used and ghosted feel any better?
I'm pretty sure they don't.
No, but what do we call men like that?
Dogs.
Thank you, bitch. Female dog?
No, right. Yeah.
Female dog is the
It's
bitch,
a bitch.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Right. I said it to shock you because you understand exactly what the male dog is.
Yes.
But what you're doing is dog behavior. What you're doing is dog behavior. Is it not?
But I'm not
Is
going
it
in
is
with
it your
full
is what you're
pretense.
doing dog behavior?
I'm not going
Your
in
friend
there
called you your friend told you. See, this is why I don't back up. This is why I keep my foot square on y'all's neck. Because even after 15 minutes, you still refuse to take accountability for your dog
I
behavior.
am taking
I don't care. I
accountability
don't care
for
what
it.
you go into it for. I don't care if you go into it with a smile and the best of intentions. You know where you're at.
But some of these
You
things
know where
don't,
you're at.
though.
You know where you're at. I don't care.
Oh, God. I'm taking accountability, though. I am. I'm definitely taking accountability.
Women who take
for it.
accountability don't keep making excuses and saying but.
Okay.
See, imagine if you went out with Curtis and we never had this phone call. And you didn't intend nothing to happen, but you were just kind of still where you are. And, but Curtis developed feelings for you, but you know you're not in a position to reciprocate or do anything healthy. And then Curtis ends up wanting something that you can't give him.
Right.
All of you, even most of you, but you never told him that wasn't on the menu. Things end with Curtis. His heart is broken. Who's going to feel it more, you or him?
Him?
Then what if he decides to do something about it? What if he decides to say, I'm going to make you feel what you made me feel?
But
that'll be that.
But how can he? If my intentions is not to like be in a relationship with him.
See, y'all understand how women handle heartbreak. Women are going to key up your car, do all kind of stuff. What if he decides to do something about that? You don't play with people's emotions, man.
But I don't leave
I don't care.
on.
Okay, I'm done. Goddamn shame. That's why I keep my foot square on women like her neck. They refuse. It's not my fault. I don't do it. It's not me. This is why you always ask questions, gentlemen, because they're not going to be on your side. Let's see. Becky, Marisol, Mylene. I don't want to see men having to keep dealing with this stuff. Knowing you damaged goods, going to decide that just because I don't intend to do it. It's funny they can diagnose. It's funny they can diagnose when it happens to them, though, boy. can sure diagnose what happens to them. If you called in before, I'm not going to just, if you've been on recently, I don't have repeat guests. So if you've been on twice, that's enough. If you've been on twice, that's enough. I know some people probably think that's harsh, but I'm like, Jesus, y'all don't understand that men are out here spending their hard-earned dollars and taking their little bit of time to deal with women who are knowing they're damaged and closed off. And then they're still expecting a man to pay like you're cleared. It's like, well, then why are you out here? Well, because I just need to do something for me. You need to do something for me to keep my head clear. So now you see why men want to go 50-50.
Hi, Kevin. I wasn't expecting you to select me.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How old are you?
How old am I? 47.
You need to get somewhere with the lights in the front of you. Okay. All right. So, you have a question, or do you want? Are you? Because the topic is it time to expand options?
I would say definitely yes.
Okay. Yes, it is.
I think for me it is. I know for the past maybe 5
You think
years.
it's time for you to expand your options
Yes.
to non-black men?
Of course.
Do you have any children?
One.
How old?
She's 21.
How tall are you?
5'7".
Just size?
I think I'm a 10.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
187. Are you serious?
What options do you have at half 100 and almost 200 pounds?
It's all in the right places. I'm solid. I used to be a track runner, so a lot
What
of
options do you have to expand at half 100 and almost 200 pounds?
Oh my gosh. So what options? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. To be honest with you,
what women who are almost 50 years old have a lot of options?
we don't have a lot of options.
So why do you think you can expand them outside of your race?
Well, because lately I've isolated myself only to my race. I've never really dated.
You haven't isolated yourself. Those are your only choices.
I would probably say yes and no.
So non-black men of value approach you.
I would say yes.
When was the last time a non-black man approached you in public with the intention of meeting you and taking you out on a romantic evening?
I would probably say probably a year ago.
And where'd you go?
At that time, I was not interested in dating.
No. That's bullshit.
I did okay. No,
That's
I'm not
bullshit.
bullshitting you.
No,
Like,
that's bullshit. No.
I
I asked a very specific question, man.
Okay.
Were you single at the time?
Yes, I've been single for a while.
Right. So I asked you, when was a non-black man of value approached you with the intention of taking you out on a romantic date? You said a year ago.
Right.
How do you know he was interested in taking you out on a romantic date if you didn't go?
Well, because I was asked.
By whom?
Yes, I was asked.
By whom? By him?
Yes.
Did he already know you?
Yes, we were acquainted with each other.
How were you acquainted?
We've known each other for a while, and
so in other words, see how you understand, guys? I said approached. Somebody that you know doesn't approach you. Approach means the implication is a stranger.
Oh, stranger. Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I have not had that.
Right.
Okay. I agree. Okay, I just got it wrong. So
I mean, I'm curious though, why do you think the solution lies in non-black men at your age?
you know what? I'm not saying that is the solution. I'm just saying that maybe I should try something new and try to date something, outside of my race. I would love to date a black man. Like my father.
But ma'am, you said it's time for me to expand my options.
Yes. Because I'm not having I'm still single trying to date in my race. So now I'm just thinking outside of the box. Should I date outside of my race and see if I get a different result? Or
you don't have those options.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand. It's like saying, let me see which Ivy League school I would go to. Princeton, Yale, Columbia, Brown, and you can't get in a junior college.
Oh, I've been to a junior college. And
At 50 years old, you should understand the analogy. It's an analogy, a comparison. Okay. Seriously? Man, why are you postulating things that don't really are possibilities?
So you don't,
you don't have non-black men of value approaching you to date you.
Okay.
So how can you expand that option?
And I wanted to give it a try and see what happens.
If no one's approaching you, how can you try it?
Well, like I said, I can say part of that is my responsibility, which I am going to take ownership with. I know with me, I do isolate myself.
Do you work from home?
Yes. And I've been working from home for the past 5 years before.
So how often do you leave the house?
I mainly leave the house mainly for leisure. Like if I go dancing, I love to hike. So
How often do you grocery shop?
I grocery shop once a week.
Well, you don't go to the gym.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes. But you gotta remember, I'm all solid. Like I don't have fat really. But
how many times a week do you go to the gym?
I go at least 3 times a week and I hike on the weekends.
And you go to a local gym or is it a woman's gym?
I'm open to I go to a personal trainer and I go to a regular gym. But most of my weight I put on during quarantine.
But if you go to the gym, man, that's public.
Oh yeah.
And then you go grocery shopping once a week.
Yes.
That's at least 4 times a week you're in public.
Okay. And I go to church. I do go to church.
That's more time. So that means you're not locked in the house. So if non-black men found you appealing, they could approach you.
They could.
But they
don't. If I look.
But they don't.
Right, and they don't. And I don't understand why.
Because they don't find you attractive.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
I want you guys to understand that this is the black girl magic. These women have been pumped so much to where it's like I gave you the Ivy League example.
Oh my God. Okay.
And you're still talking about, well, I'm still want to expand my options to Ivy League.
I didn't say Ivy League. I just said to other.
God damn it! I gave an example. Are you? Oh Jesus! I gave an example. Do you want me to explain the example again?
No, you do not. I get your example.
Well, then stop acting silly, because it's gonna go off the rails. I'm trying to have a conversation, and you're acting like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
Why don't you just deal with the reality, ma'am, that you don't have non-black men approaching you, and it's not likely that it's going to happen, especially at your age.
Okay.
This is not how it works. Especially men have any value because we tend to be more race loyal the older we get and the more we're up socioeconomic status. What's going on with your audio? Am I on speakerphone?
I have you
Yeah, on the speaker. I don't have anything in my ear.
Okay. When was the last time you had a relationship?
It's last time I had a committed relationship, I could say it was 5 years ago.
When was the last time you had sex?
Last time I would say about 2 years ago.
There you go. A relationship 5 years ago, sex 2 years ago. Effectively, you're kind of dead from the waist down.
Okay,
You
that's
don't really get out, you say you don't get out to socialize or whatever. You said you had somebody that you were familiar with, and he approached you and you turned it down.
and I have reasons behind that, but
Whatever they are, ma'am.
you know,
The only
so
common denominator in your dating history is you and your inability to connect with anybody.
I can agree to that when it comes to dating. Yes.
Okay, so how we got down this crooked path is the notion that a jagged pill, like you're describing, should expand your options. What was a man's race have to do with your situation?
And I'm not saying that a man's race have to do anything with my situation. I'm just saying that I've never given that an opportunity to try to date out of my race. So just to have that available, like I want to leave that option open and available if that opportunity did come.
Okay. If it
That's
makes you
all.
feel, sure. Not really reality, but fine. Well, why aren't you actively trying to put yourself out here?
Well, now, to be honest, yes, now I am. And I do find myself.
But you have a 21-year-old.
21.
And you're 40 what?
47.
So why have you just kind of given up?
Like in dating, I don't know.
Because this happens a lot with our generation. Our women seem to really focus a lot on their career, and then they'll focus on raising their child. And once a child gets to be 18 and 21, you got women in their mid 40s, early 50s with no real relationship skills.
Right.
Thinking you can still date like you did in your 20s.
Right. So, and I know that's the part of my life that I damaged. I take full responsibility of that because I was too afraid coming out of the relationship that I was in, and I did not want to be damaged goods to somebody else.
How long ago was that relationship over?
With my daughter's father, or the 5-year relationship?
Whichever one you said was damaged, I'm assuming your daughter's father.
I would say both of them were, very hurtful relationships. My daughter's father after I had my daughter, I had no relationships with him afterwards. And then the other relationship, that was 5 years ago.
So I'm curious. Let me switch gears.
Okay.
What do you tell your daughter when it comes to relationships and rank them and their priority?
That has always been a struggle for me, to tell you the truth.
What do you tell her?
Go ahead.
What do you tell her?
I tell her the things that I wish I
Is a
would
relationship, do you tell her to prioritize relationships?
No, I don't. I'm gonna tell you, yes, I don't.
So basically you're dooming her too.
And I think I do that, and I think that I do tell her to prioritize that.
Yeah, but you don't do it. But she doesn't see you doing it.
Right. And I know that.
So basically, and the reason I brought this up is because people with only children, especially with daughters or having one daughter, those daughters tend to end up jacked up. I did a show talk about our modern mothers destroying their daughters, and they are, because most daughters look at their mothers and like, well, damn, she doesn't talk about relationships like they're positive. It's all fear-based. She doesn't teach me anything, hasn't taught me anything. Let's see. Is your daughter a good student?
Well, she's not in school right now, but when
Was
she
she a
did,
good student in high school?
yeah. She was average.
Mhm.
You know,
When you
she
talk,
had got seasoned.
when you speak to your daughter, when you speak to your daughter, how often do you contact her, or does she contact you?
My daughter still live at home.
Okay. 21?
Yes.
What is she doing?
Well, she just got her CNA license, and now she's working on her RN license. So I've given my
Do you
daughter.
talk to your daughter about your relationship problems?
Yes, I do. Because now I'm noticing her.
Is she like your best friend then?
Yeah, me and our daughter talk. Because
so basically what you're creating is called a mother wound.
What do you mean by that?
Mother wound. Hold your emotional baggage, make my mother feel better, listen to her problems, agree with her opinions, never say no, be a best friend. Talk about this mother-daughter attachment style, because ultimately, man, daughters we're used to faulting fathers. And women who are not happy with their dating lives tend to not make it look appealing to their daughters. So their daughters tend to end up like, well, damn. It's not like you talk about men in a good or glamorizing way or anything. It's like, well, men are something to be avoided or leery of. Huh?
I've never done that to her.
Well, whether you do it, whether you say it or not, you don't have good things to say about men in relationships. You're living life off grid for the most part. So if women, okay, if your daughter saw you with the men or talking about how great men are to have around, why men are so valuable and so important, and what you should do to make a man happy because men are so special. Her outlook on manhood and relationships will be very different than get your degree, go to school, get your CNA, get out here. And like I said, relationships are not a priority. So basically you're teaching your daughter to grow up and be you alone.
No, well, the thing is, Kevin, is that I've even pushed that on my daughter to make it a priority, but I do feel that she needs a level of education to be able to take care of herself.
Exactly what I just said.
Right. So my thing is with her.
Again, they make their daughters carbon copies of them, and they give their daughters fear, scarcity, and lack. Their success, your daughter's success, is not in a man. It's in a job and an education.
But I've always told my daughter that
it is not you have taught your daughter, like so many women taught. Okay, we teach our kids by what we say, but also what we do. Has your daughter ever had a serious boyfriend?
She did have one after she graduated
How
from
old?
high school. She was about 19, between 18 and 19.
And how long were they together?
It didn't last that long, about maybe six months. It didn't last that long at all.
She's 21 years old and lives at home.
Mm-hmm.
So your daughter, it's called sister daughters. Your daughter is like your sister.
No, I'm mom.
Okay. If you talk to your daughter about your personal problems, that's not what moms do.
This is what I do with my daughter. I do with her what's age appropriate, or if I feel the conversation needed to be had. So if my daughter came to me,
what do you tell your daughter men are for?
I tell my daughter about what men are for, to be, providers, to be a support system, to be a companionship. I tell my daughter about
and what does your daughter see you mirror? What does your daughter see you?
You know what? And I'm guilty of that. Like I sit back.
Thank you. Stop, breathe.
Right. I do think about that.
Stop, breathe. Stop and breathe.
Yeah, sorry. I do.
Stop and breathe. Stop and breathe. You have told your daughter a bunch of stuff that you ain't living. And she's seen mama live a life off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And I'm not disagreeing with you, Kevin, at all.
But what I'm saying is, when I said sister daughter, it's like, no, I'm mom. No, your sister. You've talked.
Well, maybe because I don't see it that way.
Okay, like it or not, you ain't my first rodeo. And the bottom line is, this is important because if we don't start having more women recognize what they're doing to their daughters are going to end up living their lives. Your daughter is on the path to becoming an independent woman. No man. And what do you think is going to happen? Likely happen. What do you think is likely going to happen if she continues down this path? Inside of 9 years, likely will have a baby, because that's this path. 80% of our children are born out of wedlock because we have mothers who don't prioritize relationships with their daughters. They prioritize making sure that their daughters have jobs and careers and degrees and debt and everything else. Because you don't even have it in your life, because the main thing that's running through your head is fear and this and that. And I'm like, this is a cycle.
I know. And
it has to stop with you ladies. Your generation of women has to get real about your lives, where it is, and what you've done to the younger women, because you're the women they're looking at. That's why I have so many young women calling into my show, because you're their mother.
And I can accept that 100%. Because now that I've, gotten older and kind of look back over things, most of the things that you have said has been true, but how do I undo a lot of the things that I have done? And that's
you have to own it. You have to own it first.
Right.
When somebody tells you something, hold on. When somebody tells you something, you don't say, no, this isn't it. No, that is it. And just like, here's the thing.
But that was
listen. One of the biggest issues right now is at 47, you're still in a position, right, wrong, or indifferent, where you're still trying to salvage the bit of life you have left to get some happiness out of it. Okay. And the difference is, we had grandparents our age, they didn't have to do that. They were married for 20 plus years. They weren't single. Single people are individual. You're not worried about it. You're worried about your dating options. When your focus should really be if we were children, the women your age, their focus was us. Their focus was, come over to Granny's house. I'm gonna bake my baby some cookies. Come stay with grandmama. Can I go? Who let that baby stay over here? You will be in tug of war between your mom and your grandparents' house or your auntie's house. We had an abundance of love because we didn't have a bunch of goddamn single women trying to get out here and ride the train and figure out how to expand their options. Their option was in the other room, even if the men had passed on. We got a bunch of single older women who are looking at their daughters and saying, I made a mistake. I didn't know, but mama got a life too, and I don't have but another good 10 years before and it's human nature. Human nature, survival is hardwired into us. And so many of our Generation X women are trying to have a relationship to survive the very thing that you didn't prioritize in your youth. And the sad part is, maybe the answer is not to get your relationship. Maybe the answer is you actually help your daughter understand the value of a man.
And that's
worrying about extending your options. You give her better choices than you had.
And that's what I have been doing. Like, I totally agree with you. And I've been trying to figure that out, that I don't want to be a stumbling block for her. Like, I want her to possibly get married one day and have a family, because I didn't have that opportunity. So when she does meet someone, I'm not trying to sabotage it. I try to support her the best way I can.
The reason many daughters don't get married is because they don't want to leave their mothers.
And I can see that with my own daughter, and I'm pushing.
I know, ma'am. I studied this material.
And I agree. Like right
so
now.
My point is, listen. Mm-hmm. It's how you may understand, and what you can speak aspirationally, but if you're not actually telling your daughter, don't worry about mama, I want you to have a husband.
I told her that. I've said that.
But you gotta you've been on this planet long enough to know it's not what we say, it's what we do.
And I agree with you on that. And I agree.
So when we talk about relationships, when you tell me about your relationship history, it's all negative.
It sucks. It does.
Then how can you speak positive to her.
I mean, like I said, Kevin, it's like one of the things that I recognize. Like I recognize my mistakes. I take ownership of my
I'm not
mistakes.
trying to get you. I'm not trying to get you to take that ownership of a mistake. What I'm trying to get you to understand is you can't do it alone.
I understand, and I know that too. Like I have my brother.
This is one thing that I think older women are going to start doing. You're going to start bringing your daughters around men,
right?
because the only thing you have to pull from to talk to your daughter about is relationships that didn't work. And
Right.
your
And
issue with that man.
I totally agree. And that's the one thing that I did try. Like when I do date, I do try to bring, like if I do go out on the date and I'm comfortable with the person, I try to let my daughter see me date, to see the bad, the good, and the ugly. So
That's not what I'm talking about, man.
mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you said it because it is still about you.
Okay. And I don't want to make it about me, so.
It is. It's about you. This is what I mean. This is why so many young women are coming to these platforms because, like it or not, whether you intend it or not, your generation failed these women. And y'all need to own it. Y'all failed these women.
Okay.
Because we are quick to say that our father's generation failed us. We're quick to say deadbeat dads and absentee fathers. Well, goddamn it, it's time for y'all to start admitting we have failed our daughters. We do not speak about relationships with men as anything to be positive, happy, or to build any kind of anticipation. Do your daughters, do Black daughters, what is going on with your speaker? Jesus Christ. Hold on.
You have an echo.
Hold on. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Do Black daughters look at relationships like children looked at Christmas morning?
I could say mine probably don't.
Do Black daughters look at relationships like children looked at Christmas morning?
I would say mine probably don't.
Do Black daughters, not just yours?
Okay, I would say no. I would say probably say no.
Then that is a failing of the mothers.
And I can take ownership of my part, yes.
Because Chris, because you know what I'm talking about. When you're a kid, we used to, Thanksgiving, we were on high alert. We were looking forward to Christmas morning. It was an event. It was a thing. The Christmas packs, the wrapping, the entire thing. It was not just wasn't just the bicycle or the basketball or the whatever. It was the entire experience. But how are y'all talking about relationships? How are y'all living relationships? You know what? Relationships, if Black relationships were Christmas presents, they would be a pair of socks put in a gift bag.
That's deep.
Who gets excited about getting a pair of socks in a gift bag? Nobody even took the time to wrap it. But you got a gift.
Right.
We got a Christmas tree with no lights, no tinsel, and a bunch of gift bags with socks under it. Merry fucking Christmas, Black girls. And we wonder why our young ladies are so terrified of marriage to where they got to get this. Did you listen to the video where they had that 26-year-old young girl?
Yes, I saw it.
I got to get my bag. I got to get my bag. I got to get my bag. I got to get my hustle. That shit's on a priority. And I'm like, why is this young lady who came from a relationship, and so many young girls feel like life is about money and careers and bags and so forth, because that's what's been given to us by the women. Because you're the controllers of the culture, not us.
Right.
Women control the culture, not us. So it's all about hustling, getting the bags, and so forth, and we can't fix it.
Right.
The women have to sit back and do what women of old have always done. It's in your Bible. The elder women have to teach the younger women. But in order to do that, your generation of women is going to have to fall on the sword and say, my life is over, and I got to give up what's left of my life to teach this next generation. That requires you being selfless, not trying to expand your options. And that really goes against strong, independent, I don't need no man. My life, my choice goes against all this stuff. But I got news for you. If we don't get young Black women in a position to want to be wives, we don't have a Black community in 10 years. It's gone.
And I agree.
Gone. And it's gone because we don't have any wives. Young Black girl, your daughter 21, in other races, your daughter got a 50+% chance of being married. 54% or higher. In our community, less than 20% after you take out the baby boom. And that ain't got nothing to do with the men or dads. So I get it. Our generation, we were lied to. We got a bunch of misinformation. And it sucks because unfortunately, when I was a young man, because we're contemporaries, when I was a young man in the 90s, we paid for a lot of shit. Go back and look at the movies in the 90s. Black men is gay down low. All you saw was Black women moving and shaking in corporate America, and the Black men were in the mailroom. We took a lot of shit. But now, men have gotten themselves into a position, we're not on cops anymore and this and that. 54% of Black men are single and childless, 61% in the middle class. Clawed yourself into the position of respect. Now it's time for Black men over 40 to experience what you guys got in the 20s. What was that? Don't Want No Scrubs and all them songs that was coming out. That was y'all's turn. It's y'all's turn. And we had to eat that shit. Now y'all can eat it. You better do it with a smile. Because what's at stake is your daughters.
Right, that's true.
Because Becky, Marisol, Marlene, and Jamila ain't studying Keisha. They're coming right over here and learning how to fix collard greens and macaroni and cheese to get Black men. These young Zennial men, me and your daughter's age, then Black women be race loyal and choose them first. You got boys as young as 12 talking about, I don't want to be with nobody. Y'all too mean. 7 years old, look on TikTok. And all these boys are around and no men are around their mamas. Where do they get this stuff from? So it is up to the women in your generation to sacrifice if you really, really want a Black community. And the sacrifice is going to be to give up the rest of y'all's lives to step into the role Big Mama had. Because we Big Mama's age. We should be out there trying to rip. Big Mama, could you imagine your grandmama trying to get out and do with some of the stuff that people your generation do, our age do?
I've never seen my grandparents. My grandparents were still living, except for one. And
but my point is, could you see anybody when you was 10 years old, you couldn't imagine nobody in their late 40s, 50s talking about, I gotta get out to the club and I need to date. What? No, so good conversation. I mean, like I said, it's not Generation X got a raw deal.
You know,
and I feel sorry for Generation X women, but here's the thing. I feel sorry for you guys, but you got the benefit. Because when we were coming out of college, Black women were getting hired at a rate of 2 to 1 with Black men because you counted as a double minority against affirmative action. The gains that Black men were supposed to get out of civil rights went to you guys through affirmative action in Title IX. That's why we had this entire Black women are doing this and doing that and outpacing Black men. So Black men caught hell for good 20 some odd years. Now we're just like, oh, good. That's why Black men over 40 are some of that. Black men over 40 are some of the happiest men on the planet.
Interesting.
Because of all the shit that we had to survive. We didn't have wives. We didn't have women who wanted to be our counterparts. I'm
a PhD.
And that's what it was. You know that's what it was. You know that's what it was. Go back and look at the movies in Halle Berry. Go back and look at the movies in the 90s with all them short haircuts.
You're right. That's true.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Short haircuts and corporate chicks.
Right.
You in Atlanta was ground central, ground zero for all that shit. All right, Ma, I'll talk to you later.
But thank you so much.
Later.
Bye-bye.
That was good. That's a hard conversation, but it's true, man. That was good. Ladies, how are you talking to your daughters about relationships? How are you talking to your daughters about relationships? Are you talking to your daughters like, girl, you need to get you a man? I honestly think a lot of women would think that they were doing something wrong telling their daughters they need to get a man. Like, I don't want to tell my daughter she needs a man. Think about what I just said. How many mothers would feel like they're wrong for telling their daughter, you need to get you a man? Like, I'm not going to tell that to my daughter. She don't need no man. She can do it just fine. All right, I'm gonna let 2 more people in. All right, so okay, that was a good conversation. It took a little time to get there. So who is that? If you want to be on, raise your hand. I don't know who this person is. All right, I'm not gonna pick anybody up who I don't know. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Take that photo so I have all these folks in there. Boom. And Jerry Lynn. Not the bang. The bang. Oh. Not the bang. The bang. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna request to join, don't just request to join and then pull out. Because if you do, let's do that. All right. Cool. So, hi, it's a nurse. Uh-oh.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Uh-oh. Got a nurse on here. How old are you?
36.
So, you got a question, or we talking about is it time to start expanding options?
Good question. I think I'm just gonna go for the question.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
I kind of related to the one girl you had before. It's been about 4 years since I broke up with my kid's father. I have an 8-year-old, and I haven't been able to open up due to trauma. So it kind of makes sense. I don't want to go dating because I don't want to waste the guy's time if I knew I wasn't ready. So fast forward, I just met a guy and we instantly connected. And I've known him. Well, I didn't know him, but I went to school with his brother. So that's how I know him. So we connected and chemistry, attraction. I mean, insane.
What? What's the issue?
But there's a big but. He's not emotionally ready because he still lives with his baby mama, has 2 kids, but they've been disconnected for 6 months.
Oh my God.
I know.
He lives where?
That is, they share a house. It's under their name, so he can't leave because that'll be a
What does he
huge.
do for a living?
He's a trucker.
Over the road? Does he drive locally or does he long haul?
Locally.
They share a house.
They share a house under both their names. They have 2 kids. So I think the struggle with him is he can't fathom to not be with his kids daily. That's his number one. And number 2 is sharing the house.
Why would you go into a relationship with somebody who has absolutely no vacancies?
Relationship just as far as like just dealing with him, because we're not together, obviously.
I mean, you're on this call right now asking me about him, so you care.
Mm-hmm.
See, one thing we have to stop doing is acting like you can put a fence around your feelings. If you didn't care about this guy, you would go on about your business. You wouldn't be here. You care. You care
Very
about
true.
something that cannot work. He lives with his baby mama. That's dead end right there. There's no possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
all the other story you're just telling is just a way to justify what you've already decided. I like him. All right. This is why you don't pick people based on emotions.
that's the battle I've been having.
But you said you didn't get into a relationship because have you had any therapy yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Ever since the breakup, so about 4 years.
Are you still in therapy?
I see her not often. Before it was like weekly and then monthly. So now it's just kind of like.
But 4 years, was there any kind of clinical diagnosis, or was it just dealing with relationship trauma?
Dealing with relationship trauma.
You're supposed to graduate from therapy and be in a healthy place to move on. If therapy is effective.
It has been.
Then why would you pick something? Then I'm gonna challenge that. Man, if your therapy was effective, you wouldn't be picking the person you were talking about online right now. If you had a higher sense of self-esteem and thought you deserved something that was worth your time, you wouldn't be picking a man who's living with a woman who didn't marry her, they got 2 kids. That's like saying I'm hungry and I serve you a plate of crap.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna eat it? You're hungry? No, but you think you deserve something other than that. I think I focused too much on the fact that meeting him, I was able to open up and I became vulnerable. And it's exactly what I want to feel when I meet the right person. So I don't care about feelings.
Mm.
You ladies you make decisions based on your feelings, and you tend to make wrong-headed decisions. You mean you haven't met anybody who has morals, character, and emotional availability and is ready for a relationship?
Well, I never put myself out there either because I didn't want to waste anyone's time.
But you said you went through therapy and you're okay. So, see.
But I think I just wasn't ready. Even though I went to therapy, I don't think I was right. My heart wasn't open. No one was able to do that for me.
Then your therapist was crap. Because if you went in for 4 years and your heart ain't open and you're still doing this, then what's the point? Therapy is supposed to be, are you a nurse?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anybody who still has an open wound from 4 years ago that you treated?
That's a great question. No.
Because the treatment worked.
Right.
You're walking around as an open wound. And all you decided to do was get with somebody who's going to infect you.
Good way to put it.
I know. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
That's why I started watching you. And I labeled myself the 6.
Seriously, though, you understand that you're walking around still wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Just because this person had a good bedside manner and you feel like I could share something with him, you attract what you are. And if you attract somebody like that while you're wounded, that means he's equally wounded. Back to therapy with somebody who's actually going to tell you the truth. Was your therapist a female?
Yes.
Get a male therapist, somebody who's going to tell you the truth. Not somebody who's
Really? Okay. I will do that.
Female therapists hate me because I tell the truth. Look, women tend to want to pout. I'm trying to get a better outcome, and a better outcome is to tell you what you had obviously didn't work, and we can judge based upon the choices you're making and the outcome it's getting. So pick a therapist that's actually going to make you, challenge you, just like this. Matter of fact, you were in therapy for 4 years. Did you pay? Was it on insurance, or did you pay out of network?
Pay out of pocket.
Okay. about how much was each session?
How much was what?
Each session.
Each session? It went from $100, but since it's been a while, I pay $70 a session.
How many times a month did you go?
In the beginning, it was weekly because I was really hurting, and then now I just see her like maybe it's probably been like twice or 3 times. Not even twice a year.
If it was weekly, or at least so that's at least 50 weeks. So $100, that was $5,000. Okay.
Not for the whole year, but in the beginning.
I'll just cut in half.
Okay.
$2,500, and then over 4 years, that's $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
I've given you more help in 15 minutes. Give me $10,000. So when people tell me I'm not worth anything, I say you that $10,000. Have you gotten more assistance out of this or the last 4 years?
Yeah, within 10 minutes.
I'm good because there you go, 10 grand. I want you to get better. So you need somebody who's going to not want to keep you going for 4 years. You need somebody who want to get your ass out of there in 3 to 6 months. If your personal trainer is bringing you pizza and donuts, fire your personal trainer.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Y'all just think I'm a guy in a suit who talk shit. I got skills. All right. Tough conversations. First one I talked to. That first one I talked to, I'm gonna tell you, that's the woman who's used to getting by on the sass and this, and I'm cute. Cute's gonna wear off. There ain't that much cute in the world. Cute wears off. But I really do know what I was telling the previous, not this one, but the previous woman. Generation X ladies, y'all had those time. It is time for you to start worrying about your daughters and the younger women. But you cannot be out here trying to live the rest of your life and give your daughters what they didn't get while they was growing up and what they need now. And if you really want to help, free your daughters. You know how many women I know who see their mothers unmarried and know that they are going to have to take care of that parent when that parent is elderly. So a daughter is stepping into a son role. So you put your problems on your daughters when they were growing up and you burden them with your personal issues and problems. Then your daughters got to take on your emotions and everything else. You're taking your daughters' lives. Free your daughters to let them go out and have a life that you did not have. Or actually, you had a life, you just chose poorly. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It happened. But you got to free your daughters or else you doom everybody. Because if you're not talking to your daughters about relationships like they should be anticipating relationships like kids at Christmas, if they just anticipating relationships like a bunch of goddamn socks and gift bags, yeah, and don't think about uploading my video. I'm uploading this to YouTube and the TikTok. So if I catch you upload a video, you will get the copyright. And I actually have 2 people in court right now. 2 people have actually been served. Oh yeah, I'm not playing with y'all. You're gonna pay me for using my stuff. Please believe. So if you think it's a game, you want to play that game, hope, because that's federal court. Make your own content. All right, that was good. That was good. That was great. Tough to hear. That was pretty nice. Tomorrow night on YouTube.
Hey, Queen.
Hey, sis, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I've been busy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Didn't enjoy the show. Hopefully if you like what he said, leave a comment down below. If you didn't like what he said, leave a comment down below. And what's going on, and you can sound off.
Please leave a comment down below because we need to find out what people think about this. I mean,
Yeah.
just listening to him is just hard to do because he says so many things that are just not true. It's like he doesn't even do a research. He just goes by whatever the person's story is, however he can change their story and make it fit his narrative. That's the only thing I don't like about this man. He probably could give good advice if he wouldn't stay on that negative path. He is got his own sights on making whatever you say wrong.
Is it,
And
is that his fault or their fault?
no, that's his fault because the simple fact is when people are trying to like this woman was just he asked her a question, and as she's answering the question, he cut her off and changed the narrative right as she's answering the question. She didn't even get to finish saying how she felt or what her opinion was. He does that a lot.
But just the point of listening to him, if they think what he's saying is incorrect, shouldn't they just like tune out?
They shouldn't even call in, first of all, because
Ah, that's
he's
the point that I'm saying. If women are constantly calling, they're looking for something. Whether we like it or we don't like it, they're looking for something.
yes.
Because me, mm-mm. But I'm just saying something that he's saying, and then after he talked, they'll go, "You're right." And I noticed that the more people that call, they're falling. Like they're making sure they don't have a bonnet on. They're making sure their Wi-Fi good. They're making sure they're speaking to him in the way that he wants them to speak to him. So at this point, you got to really say, okay, let me just read a little bit of these comments.
Okay, thank you, Sal. Appreciate you coming over.
My pregnant fiance needs me right now. Have a great. Oh, fiance, shouldn't you be married? Now I know you've been watching Kevin. Kevin, you should be married. She should not be. You should hurry up and get married by tomorrow, Sal. Or I'm telling Kevin Samuels on you.
And thank you, Rome King. You have been great input. Glad to have you.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen half of anything because I've been washing clothes and doing stuff like that. So I don't know what to. Hi, Sierra. I don't know what to.
Sierra, you late for class. You getting to work.
Or either way, come to find out, my clock is 40 minutes late, right? So all this
Oh,
time.
is that the problem? Because
Yeah,
you tried to tell me that my time was wrong, remember? Oh, no. It's this
no, it was
time.
mine. It was
you
mine.
told me. You told me it can't be that time because it's such and such a time here. I said
No,
no.
it was mine. See, I know how to come back and say, "Hey, it was me."
Oh no, you didn't.
Mhm. I didn't have to listen. Now. I ain't had to tell you nothing now. I know. I know.
Wait a minute. Wait. Sel said, "Thank you, you young ladies. Ever
Aw,
had a
thank
civil,
you. Wait, forget all that
respectful
part.
conversation
Forget all
with
that
me?
part.
I'll be
I
back.
I
Oh,
like
thank you. Please come back.
thank you, but I like what Dominique is saying better. Guys, donate to the channel. That's
Yay, yes.
I like Dominique. Thank you, Dominique. Guys, donate to the channel.
Truly, why you didn't come up here and say your what you wanted to say?
Well, we're gonna do an open panel just without him, and we're gonna do an open panel anyway about what we think, not
Yeah,
just
she
about Kevin.
stayed. No, but she stayed because she was wanted to say something. She was getting ready to leave. I had to ask her to stay.
I had to do things. I wasn't here. I'm sorry, guys. I had to listen. Had to get the boy ready. Had to wash the clothes, do this, do that. So I
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say with the pen. You doing more than me. God. Well, it gets like that sometimes. So I'm gonna have to.
Send the link so Trinity can come up.
I'm gonna have to put a rewatch it just to. Ay ay ay. But we're gonna do a panel, just talking.
Right, Sierra. He has no patience to actually, and then he's so insensitive. He act like he don't have no feelings for nothing nobody says or how or whatever. Somebody he just don't have no feelings for whatever you've been through, whatever your situation. He has no sensitivity. It's just
Yeah, but at this point, if he says the same things and the same questions, then why do people call? See,
exactly.
see how
That's because he sleeps. He sleeps in that jacket. He don't even take it off. He sleeps in it because he's had it on for the past ever
that's
since.
it. That's different jackets. It just has the zipper the same. My, they done got Truly up here. Hey, love.
Hi y'all. How are you?
Hey,
Hey, sweet pea.
No, I was just commenting on the guy that was like body shaming the other lady because that was crazy to me.
We're gonna do a panel, right? Maybe tomorrow or the next day, where we're just gonna have these type of discussions, but just with a panel alone without a video. We're just gonna do a panel.
Oh, that's gonna be lit.
All right, so make sure you come on up here.
Yes.
okay. So who was doing the body shaming? Is they still here?
Oh no, he got timed out. He got he got put in the closet.
Okay.
But he wasn't like a guy that was in shape, so it was confusing to me.
Oh,
They- uh, yeah,
that's
but we
what that's what I noticed. Like when I was at the grocery store the other day, most of the women were in shape, and the guys were like had these big old stomachs.
don't listen, guys. Save the good stuff for the panel.
Okay.
Sa-
Yes, Rome, come back tomorrow.
No, 'cause a lot of like I said,
She
a lot
talking
of
about that's a different jacket. That's the same jacket. That
no, that is a
Nicole say that jacket has feelings.
no, that it has nothing. Them are different jackets. That's more like a sweater. But I put the videos on. Them are different jackets. They just the zippers are the same, but them are different jackets. That's right there. It's not even a jacket. That's a sweater.
He wear the same ones though.
It's the same type of zipper. Them are different jackets.
Same type of jacket, different jacket, the same ones. He got one of each.
Whatever. Whatever.
He got one of each that he wears once a week.
Like I said, I put these videos on not mainly for the women, but mainly for the men. But mainly for the men
And the truly put him in the closet. Okay, all right now, sharpshooter.
because a lot of my men, they think they don't. I like to serve them and plus serve women, but is and I like for them to get something out of it, you know. But long as it's respectful, everything has to be respectful. And then you
Well,
got
another thing I want men to understand is that if these women are going on here talking to him, trying to get some advice, we need help. Y'all need to reach out to a woman and talk to them. They talking to this guy. Y'all better reach out and start talking to women.
and y'all gotta remember to be kind of okay because I'm the one getting emailed with death threats now. Y'all gotta be kind of nice women.
We been nice. This everybody been nice.
No, they know they're
Everybody.
literally hunting me down because they think I'm you.
Oh, they know who I am.
No,
I read the comments.
you don't read my email. They track down my email.
Oh, they done emailed you.
Yes, darling.
Well,
But that's why I said we're going to do a panel, an
yeah.
open panel where we can just speak freely. So anybody is what is able to join the panel, but I'm going to keep it besides the co-host, whoever's going to be the co-host for that day, we the only ones that will stay on the panel. But we're going to,
James. Well, James.
and whoever we decide to bring up on the panel is going to have a certain amount of time to set it off. But only the co-host is allowed to stay on. The host and the co-host don't lead the panel. But any if it's going to be, or if it's going to be just this amount of people,
Oh
then we
yeah, certain people can come up. Yeah, people come take have their time and come up. That'd be good.
right. Besides the co-host, the host.
Yeah.
So Truly has to make up her mind if she want to be a host or not that day. Truly,
I got
Truly
you.
is. I love Truly when she be in the
cause,
chat because she be keeping them straight in
cause
that chat for us.
I
I be trying not to let my
truly.
Virgo come out. Like the female Pastor P be like, don't don't take
Ah!
that. Delete that. Don't do it. Like
Oh my God, the female. We don't need that. And Josephine Nichols on every Josephine Nichols church at the church say amen on Josephine Nichols.
I mean, don't let him get on that
Now here
XOXO.
come Johnny Baxter with this is hijack content. First of all,
My goodness.
first of all, is more exposure to people who don't know Kevin Samuels. Y'all think everybody knows Kevin Samuels, but guess what? Everybody do not know Kevin Samuels. It's more exposure, and then when he speak upon his things, people go over there and see it, and then when he speak upon his only not his only fan, what you call that, the other thing, um when people pay and it's just them, for the people who pay to see the content, I forgot what you call it, but anyway, it's a
We don't
lot
need permission. It's
of
on YouTube. You
no,
can
it's
watch.
not. You do need permission. Calm down, boss lady. Yes, you do. Yeah, you really do. But um um members only, thank you. When you have the members only, when you have the members only, people over here can run on over there. It's called exposure. It's called exposure. And then if you running over here, I mean, come on, guys, stop.
It's a
but
learning. It's a learning tool. We're using it for a learning experience.
Exactly. Exactly. So some women are in shock. They in shock. Some women feel, and some women and men, we're learning and we're trying. That's why I say if you agree with it, you agree with it. Put it in the comment. If you don't agree with it, put it in the comment. That goes for the chat too. I cannot control the chat. That's what the snipers are for.
but isn't it like fair use though?
Yeah, it's fair use because it's on YouTube. It's fair use. Fair
No,
use.
no, 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 no,
YouTube
no.
says that.
You, oh, I'm a content creator. I read all the guidelines. I'm not even gonna. I'll tell you that off the thing. I don't want nobody to stick me. I don't want nobody to stick me. But this is finished. Y'all stay right there, boss lady and Truly. Peace, guys. I'm out. Stay right there, Truly.